I slid the brick back into place and turned to face my daughter-in-law, her expensive Lululemon jacket now covered in basement dust. "Comfortable, Patricia?" I asked. She didn't answer. 3 hours earlier, she and my son had left us down here to die. "My name is Thomas Whitmore, and I'm 67 years old. For 42 years, I've lived in the same Victorian-style home in Burlington, Ontario, watching the maples outside my window change color with the seasons. My wife Eleanor and I raised our only son here. We thought we'd built something good. We were wrong about what he'd become. It started 6 months ago when Eleanor had her stroke. She was in the garden, deadheading the roses she'd planted the year we moved in, when I heard the crash. By the time I got outside, she was lying in the flower bed, her pruning shears still clutched in her right hand. The paramedics said we got her to the hospital fast enough. The damage was mostly on her left side. She could still walk with a cane, still speak, though sometimes the words came out twisted. But she was alive, and she was home, and that was all that mattered to me. Our son, Marcus, saw it differently. He's 39 now, works in pharmaceutical sales in Toronto, drives a BMW he can't really afford, and wears suits that cost more than our monthly grocery bill. His wife, Patricia, is younger, 34, one of those women who posts every meal on Instagram before she eats it. They met at some networking event 5 years ago. Eleanor never warmed to her, but she kept her opinions to herself. That's the kind of woman Eleanor is. Sometimes I still don't know which tense to use. Marcus started visiting more after the stroke. At first, I was grateful. He'd bring dinner, expensive takeout from restaurants in the city, Thai food in containers that looked too nice to throw away. He'd ask about Eleanor's therapy appointments, her medications, whether we needed anything. Patricia would wander through the house, running her fingers along the crown molding, commenting on the original hardwood floors, the stained glass window on the landing. "These old houses are worth a fortune now," she said once. "If you ever thought about selling, the location alone is worth at least $2 million, maybe more." I should have heard the warning in that sentence. I didn't. The visits increased. Marcus would show up with paperwork, insurance forms, medication authorizations, power of attorney documents. "It's just a precaution, Dad," he said. "In case something happens and you can't make decisions. You know how hospitals are with red tape. I signed some of them." Eleanor's handwriting was shaky now, but she managed her signature too. Marcus always left with the papers neatly filed in his leather briefcase, promising to make copies for our records. Those copies never arrived. 2 months ago, things shifted. Marcus started talking about assisted living facilities. "You're not getting any younger, Dad. What if Mom has another stroke? What if you have a heart attack? Who's going to help you then?" He had brochures printed on glossy paper, photographs of smiling seniors playing cards in sunlit rooms. The cheapest place was $8,000 a month. "We're fine here," I told him. "This is our home. For now," Patricia said. She was looking at the bay window in the living room, the one that overlooks the street. "But you have to be realistic, Thomas. You're both in your late 60s. These things need to be planned. I'm 67. Eleanor is 65. That's not late 60s. That's barely into them. But I didn't correct her. I should have. I should have thrown them both out right then. But he's my son. You don't want to believe your own child would hurt you. You make excuses. You tell yourself you're misunderstanding. You give them chances you shouldn't." Last month, Marcus came by on a Tuesday afternoon. Patricia was with him, carrying a box from Timothy's. She set it on the kitchen table, pulled out coffees and Timbits. "We need to talk," Marcus said. His tone was different, harder. He sat down across from me and opened his briefcase. "I've been looking at your finances. You're not in good shape, Dad." "Our finances are none of your business," I said. "They are when you've given me power of attorney." He pulled out a document, pointed to Eleanor's shaky signature at the bottom. "This gives me legal authority to manage your assets. I've been reviewing your accounts. You're spending too much. The property taxes alone on this house are ridiculous. You're hemorrhaging money on upkeep. The furnace is 30 years old. The roof needs replacing. You've got foundation issues." "We've got enough to cover our bills," I interrupted. "For now. But what about next year? 5 years from now? You've got maybe $200,000 in savings. That sounds like a lot until you factor in inflation, medical expenses, long-term care. Mom's medications alone are costing you $1,500 a month. Do you know what happens when that money runs out? You'll lose this house anyway, except you'll be broke and desperate instead of making a smart decision now, while you still can. Patricia reached across the table and put her hand over Eleanor's. My wife flinched. We're just trying to help, Patricia said softly. Marcus and I have been talking. We could buy the house from you, give you a fair price, well over market value. You'd have enough to move into a really nice assisted living facility, one with full-time nurses, physical therapy for Eleanor, activities, social interaction. You wouldn't have to worry about maintenance or bills or any of it, and the house would stay in the family. How much would you pay? Eleanor asked. Her words were slurred but clear enough. Marcus smiled. 900,000. I've had it appraised. That's generous, given the repairs needed. I felt something cold settle in my chest. You said Patricia just mentioned it's worth at least 2 million. That's potential value, Dad. That's if someone wanted to completely gut renovate it, which would cost another 500,000 easy. As is, with all the problems, 900 is fair. Get out, I said. Marcus's smile vanished. Excuse me? Get out of my house, both of you. Now. They left, but Marcus turned in the doorway. Think about it, Dad. This offer won't stay on the table forever. And trust me, you'll need our help sooner than you think. 2 weeks passed. We didn't hear from them. Eleanor's physiotherapy was going well. She could walk through the house without her cane now, though she kept it close just in case. We were eating dinner on a Friday evening, leftover lasagna I'd made earlier in the week, when we heard the front door open. Dad? Marcus's voice echoed through the hallway. We're here. I stood up. I didn't invite you. He came into the dining room with Patricia behind him. She was carrying a small suitcase. We're moving in, Marcus said, temporarily. Our condo flooded, burst pipe, the whole place is wrecked. Insurance is covering it, but the repairs will take weeks. We need somewhere to stay. There are hotels, Eleanor said. Don't be ridiculous, Mom. We're family. He walked past us toward the stairs. We'll take my old room. Patricia, bring the bags up. They moved in. That night, I lay in bed listening to them walk around upstairs, opening and closing doors, running water, their voices low and conspiratorial through the ceiling. Eleanor held my hand in the dark. Something's wrong, she whispered. I know, I said. The next morning, Saturday, I went downstairs to find Marcus in my study. He was at my desk, going through the filing cabinet. Papers were spread across the surface, bank statements, insurance policies, the deed to the house. What are you doing? I demanded. Organizing your affairs. Jesus, Dad, do you know what a mess this is? You've got documents from 1983 mixed in with last year's tax returns. How do you find anything? Those are private. Not anymore. Remember? Power of attorney. I'm legally responsible for managing your assets now. And frankly, it's worse than I thought. Your investments are garbage. You're losing money every month. I'm going to need to make some changes. I tried to grab the papers. Marcus pushed my hand away. Dad, stop. You're going to hurt yourself. Those are my documents. They're my responsibility. He gathered them up, put them in his briefcase. I'm taking these to my lawyer. We need to set up a proper trust. Get your affairs in order. This is for your own good. Patricia appeared in the doorway. Marcus, honey, I'm heading to the grocery store. Do your parents need anything? They're fine, Marcus said without looking up. She left. An hour later, she returned with bags of food, expensive organic produce, artisan bread, free-range chicken. She put it all in our refrigerator, pushing aside the food we already had. This is healthier for you, she said when Eleanor protested. You need to watch your sodium intake, especially with your stroke history. That night at dinner, Patricia served chicken she'd prepared with roasted vegetables. It tasted fine, though overly seasoned. Eleanor ate a few bites and pushed her plate away. I'm not hungry, Mom. You need to eat, Marcus said. I'm tired. She stood up, wobbling slightly. I reached for her, but Patricia was faster. I'll help you upstairs, Patricia said. She took Eleanor's arm and guided her out of the room. I started to follow, but Marcus blocked me. Let Patricia help her, Dad. You need to eat. You barely touched your food. I'm not hungry either. Suit yourself. He picked up his phone, started scrolling. I sat there watching him, this stranger wearing my son's face. Eleanor slept poorly that night. She was restless, mumbling in her sleep, her forehead hot to the touch. In the morning, She could barely get out of bed. "I feel strange," she said. "Dizzy. My head hurts." I wanted to call our doctor, but Marcus insisted on calling his. "Dr. Ramirez is excellent, Dad. She specializes in stroke recovery. She'll come to the house, save you the trip." Dr. Ramirez arrived that afternoon, a young woman with dark hair pulled into a tight bun. She examined Eleanor for 20 minutes while Marcus and Patricia waited downstairs. When she came out of the bedroom, her expression was grave. "Your wife's blood pressure is very high," she said, "and her cognitive function has declined significantly since her last evaluation. I'm concerned she may be experiencing early-stage dementia." "That's impossible," I said. "She was fine yesterday. These things can progress quickly, especially after a stroke. I'm prescribing new medication. It should help stabilize her condition." She wrote something on a prescription pad, handed it to Marcus. "Make sure she takes these twice daily, and I'd recommend limiting visitors. She needs rest and minimal stimulation." Marcus walked her to the door. I heard them talking in low voices, couldn't make out the words. When he came back, he was holding the prescription. "I'll pick this up tonight," he said. "In the meantime, Mom should stay in bed. No TV, no reading, nothing that might agitate her." "I want a second opinion," I said. "From who?" "Dr. Ramirez is one of the best neurologists in Ontario." "But sure, make an appointment. It'll take 3 months to get in to see anyone decent. Mom doesn't have that kind of time." He was right about the wait times. I called our family doctor anyway, left a message with the receptionist. She called back 2 days later. The earliest appointment was mid-January, 3 months away. Eleanor got worse. The new medications made her groggy, confused. She'd wake up not knowing where she was, asking for her mother who'd been dead for 15 years. Marcus insisted we keep visitors away. When Eleanor's sister called from Calgary, he told her Mom wasn't up for calls. When our neighbor Mrs. Chen brought over soup, Patricia answered the door and took it, but didn't invite her in. "Thomas and Eleanor need privacy," she said. "I'm sure you understand." I tried to stop giving Eleanor the pills. Marcus caught me dumping them down the sink. "What the hell are you doing?" he shouted. "Are you trying to kill her? Those pills are making her worse. Those pills are keeping her alive." "Christ, Dad, you can't even see what's happening. You're losing it too." He grabbed my shoulders, looked into my eyes. "When's the last time you showered? Changed your clothes? You're falling apart. Both of you are. This is exactly why you need help." Maybe he was right. I couldn't remember the last time I'd shaved. The house felt like it was closing in, the walls getting tighter, the air thicker. Patricia brought me meals on a tray. Marcus made sure Eleanor took her pills. Days blurred together. October became November. The leaves outside turned brown and fell. I watched them from the bedroom window while Eleanor slept. On a Tuesday morning, Marcus came into our bedroom with papers. "Dad, I need you to sign these." "What are they?" "Transfer documents. I'm selling the house. We talked about this. It's time. We never agreed to anything. You don't have a choice. Look at you. Look at Mom. You can't take care of yourselves anymore. I've found a good facility in Mississauga. They have availability next month. It's expensive, but you'll be able to afford it with the money from the house." "How much are you selling for?" $900,000, like I offered before. You said it's worth $2 million. That was aspirational pricing, Dad. The real market is different. Plus, there's the cost of clearing out all your junk, doing repairs, staging it properly. By the time all that's done, I'll be lucky to break even." "No," Marcus sighed. "I didn't want to do this." He pulled out another document. "This is a capacity assessment. Dr. Ramirez conducted it last week. She's determined that both you and Mom are no longer capable of making sound financial decisions. As your power of attorney, I'm legally authorized to act on your behalf. Your signature isn't required, but it would make things easier. You can't do this. I already have. The house goes on the market next week. You've got 30 days to clear out. Use that time wisely. Pack what matters, leave the rest. And Dad," he leaned close, "don't try anything stupid. You fight this, and I'll have you both declared incompetent. You'll spend what's left of your lives locked in a psych ward. Is that what you want?" He left. I sat on the edge of the bed, Eleanor still sleeping beside me, and felt 42 years of memories pressing down on me. This house, where we'd brought Marcus home from the hospital, where we'd celebrated birthdays and Christmases and anniversaries, where Eleanor had planted roses and I'd built a workshop in the garage, and we'd grown old together thinking we were safe. That evening, after Patricia had brought dinner and Marcus had given Eleanor her pills, I heard them talking in the hallway outside our door. "How much longer?" Patricia asked. "Another week, maybe 2. The old man's tougher than he looks, but he's breaking. Once we get them moved out, we can gut this place, flip it by spring. Easy 2.5 million in this market. And if he tries to fight, he won't. I've got all the paperwork. He signed over power of attorney months ago, didn't even read the fine print. Legally, they're incompetent. Everything's airtight." Patricia laughed. "Your dad really is an idiot. My dad's a sucker. There's a difference." They went downstairs. I lay there in the dark, Eleanor's breath shallow beside me, and made a decision. I waited until midnight. The house was silent. I eased out of bed, careful not to wake Eleanor, and made my way downstairs. Marcus and Patricia's bedroom door was closed. I could hear Marcus snoring through it. I went to the basement door, the one off the kitchen that leads down to what we'd always called the cold room. It's the oldest part of the house, original foundation from when the place was built in 1912. Stone walls, dirt floor in places, low ceiling. We'd stored preserves down there when Marcus was young, back when Eleanor canned tomatoes every summer. We hadn't been down in years. I opened the door as quietly as I could. The hinges creaked. I froze, listening. No movement from upstairs. I found the flashlight we kept in the kitchen drawer and started down the wooden steps. They groaned under my weight. At the bottom, I clicked on the flashlight. The beam cut through decades of dust and cobwebs, old furniture covered in sheets, boxes of Christmas decorations, the preserves shelves, empty now, coating the walls. I walked to the far corner, where the stone wall met the foundation, found what I was looking for, a loose brick, 3 rows up from the floor. I'd discovered it 30 years ago when I'd been down here fixing a leak. The brick came away easily in my hands. Behind it was a hollow space, maybe 2 feet deep. I'd kept things in there over the years, things I didn't want anyone to find. I reached in and pulled out a metal box, the kind you buy at Canadian Tire for $20. Inside was everything I'd been gathering for 6 months. Photocopies of the real power of attorney documents, the ones Eleanor and I had signed with our actual lawyer before the stroke. The originals were in a safety deposit box at the bank. The papers Marcus had us sign were forgeries, carefully altered to give him far more control than we'd ever agreed to. I had proof. I had recordings too. A small digital recorder I'd bought in September and hidden in the living room. Hours of Marcus and Patricia talking when they thought we were asleep or too medicated to pay attention, discussing their plan to drain our accounts, sell the house, split the profits, laughing about how easy it was to manipulate 2 old people. Patricia suggesting they speed things up by adjusting Eleanor's medication dosages. Marcus agreeing. I had bank statements showing unauthorized withdrawals from our accounts. $50,000 moved into Marcus's personal account over the last 2 months. Small amounts. Nothing we'd notice until it was too late, but all traceable, all documented. And I had Dr. Ramirez's real assessment of Eleanor. Not the fake one Marcus had shown me, but the actual medical report I'd requested directly from her office. Eleanor didn't have dementia. Her cognitive function was normal for someone recovering from a stroke. The confusion, the grogginess, the memory problems, all side effects of the medications Marcus had been giving her. Medications Dr. Ramirez had never prescribed. I'd called Dr. Ramirez's office last week, pretending to be Marcus, requesting records for insurance purposes. The receptionist had emailed everything. I'd printed it at the library, hidden it down here with the rest. I put the box back in the wall, replaced the brick, went upstairs. Eleanor was still sleeping. I climbed into bed beside her and stared at the ceiling, making plans. The next morning, Wednesday, Marcus came into our bedroom at 7 a.m. "Get up," he said. "We're taking a drive." "Where?" I asked. "To see the facility in Mississauga. They want to meet you before move-in day. Come on, both of you. Get dressed." Eleanor was groggy, confused. I helped her into clothes, down the stairs. Patricia was waiting by the front door with her purse. "This'll be good for you," she said brightly. "You'll see. It's a beautiful place. Much better than staying in this old house." We drove in Marcus's BMW. I sat in the back with Eleanor, holding her hand. She kept asking where we were going. Patricia turned around from the passenger seat. "Just a little field trip, Eleanor." Nothing to worry about. The facility was in Mississauga, a sprawling complex of low buildings surrounded by trees that had lost their leaves for winter. Marcus parked, and we went inside. The reception area smelled like disinfectant and despair. A woman in scrubs led us on a tour. Small rooms with hospital beds. Common areas where elderly people sat in wheelchairs, staring at a TV. A dining hall that served pureed food on plastic trays. "What do you think?" Marcus asked when the tour was over. "I think I'd rather die," I said. He laughed. "Dad, you're being dramatic. This is one of the best facilities in Ontario. You'll have round-the-clock care, activities, social opportunities. Way better than being isolated in that house. I want to go home. This will be home soon enough." He signed some papers at the front desk. The woman in scrubs smiled at him. "We'll have everything ready by December 1st, she said. 3 weeks away. We drove back to Burlington. Marcus and Patricia talked about their plans for the house. Knocking down walls, modernizing the kitchen. Patricia wanted a soaker tub in the master bathroom. Marcus thought they should convert the garage into a home gym. Eleanor squeezed my hand. I squeezed back. That night, I waited until everyone was asleep. Then I went back down to the basement, took out the metal box, brought it upstairs to our bedroom, woke Eleanor. "I need you to listen," I whispered. "Can you do that?" She nodded. I told her everything, showed her the documents, played the recordings on low volume so only she could hear, showed her the bank statements, the forged power of attorney papers, the real medical assessment. Her eyes cleared as I talked. The grogginess fell away. "That son of a bitch," she said. Her words were perfectly clear. "I have a plan," I said. "But I need you to trust me, and I need you to keep pretending you're confused. Can you do that?" "What are we going to do?" "We're going to let them think they've won, and then we're going to destroy them." The next 2 weeks were the hardest of my life, watching Eleanor pretend to be lost, confused, helpless, while Marcus and Patricia packed up our house around us. They hired movers to clear out 42 years of memories, throwing things in boxes without asking what mattered. Patricia went through Eleanor's jewelry, held up her grandmother's pearl necklace. "This is pretty," she said. "I might keep it." "That's not yours," I said. "It will be soon." She put it in her purse. Marcus sold our car. He said we wouldn't need it in the facility. He emptied our bank accounts, moved everything into an account in his name. "For safekeeping," he said. "I'll manage your finances from here on out. Make sure the bills get paid." He called Eleanor's sister in Calgary, told her mom had taken a turn for the worse and wasn't accepting calls anymore. He told our neighbors we'd decided to move closer to family in Toronto. He changed our phone number, canceled our internet, cut us off from the outside world, and all the while, I kept the metal box hidden under our bed, waiting for the right moment. That moment came on November 28th, 2 days before we were supposed to move to the facility. Marcus announced he wanted to show us something. "One last look at the house," he said, "before the renovations start." We followed him through rooms that no longer felt like ours. The furniture was gone, sold or donated. Our photographs removed from the walls. The kitchen stripped of Eleanor's dishes, the pots and pans she'd collected over decades. Patricia walked beside us in yoga pants and a cashmere sweater, already playing Lady of the Manor. "We're thinking an open concept," Marcus said, gesturing at the wall between the kitchen and dining room. "Knock this down, put in an island, modern appliances, quartz countertops." "Sounds expensive," I said. "You have no idea how much this place is worth, Dad. 2.5, maybe 3 million once we're done with it. Best investment I ever made." "You stole it." Marcus turned to look at me. "Excuse me? You stole our house, forged documents, drained our accounts, drugged your own mother. Also you could make a quick profit." Patricia laughed. "Wow. The dementia's really setting in, huh?" "I don't have dementia," I said. "And neither does Eleanor." Eleanor stepped forward. When she spoke, her voice was strong, clear, the slur completely gone. "We've been playing you, Marcus. For 2 weeks we've let you think you'd won. We let you pack up our house, sell our things, parade us around like we were too stupid to know what was happening. And the whole time, we were gathering evidence." Marcus's smile faded. "What are you talking about?" I pulled the metal box from under my coat, opened it, showed him the documents, the recordings, the bank statements. "I've been documenting everything, every conversation, every forged signature, Every unauthorized withdrawal. I've got proof of elder abuse, financial exploitation, fraud, identity theft, and I've got your accomplice on tape admitting what you did. Dr. Ramirez? Patricia asked. She had no idea what you were doing. I contacted her directly last month, got Eleanor's real medical records. No dementia, no cognitive decline. Just a woman recovering from a stroke who was being systematically poisoned by her own son. Marcus grabbed for the box. I stepped back. I've made copies, I said. Everything's backed up in 3 separate locations, and tomorrow morning, all of it goes to the police. You can't prove anything, Marcus said, but his voice wavered. I can prove everything. Forensic accountants will trace every dollar you stole. Audio analysts will verify the recordings. Handwriting experts will confirm you forged our signatures. And Dr. Ramirez will testify that the medication you gave Eleanor was not what she prescribed. You're going to prison, Marcus. Both of you. Patricia turned to run. Eleanor stepped in front of her. Where do you think you're going? This is insane, Patricia said. You're both crazy. That's what we'll tell everyone. 2 senile old people making up stories because they're confused. We have a full psychiatric evaluation, Eleanor said, conducted by an independent assessor last week while you thought we were at the grocery store. We're both of sound mind, competent to testify, competent to press charges. Marcus sat down on the floor, right there in the empty dining room, put his head in his hands. Dad, please, I'm your son. You stopped being my son the day you decided I was worth more to you dead than alive. He started crying, real tears running down his face. I'm sorry. God, I'm so sorry. We just needed money. The condo, it really did flood. Insurance didn't cover everything. I've got debts, credit cards maxed out. The BMW payment is killing me. I didn't know what else to do. You could have asked for help, I said. You could have been honest. Instead, you chose to drug your mother, steal from us, throw us in a home to die, while you lived in our house and spent our money. I'll pay it back. Every cent. I'll get a second job, work overtime, whatever it takes. Just please don't call the cops. Please, Dad. I'll lose everything. You already did. The police arrived at 8 a.m. the next morning. I'd called them from Mrs. Chen's house the night before, after Eleanor and I had walked out of our home for the last time and gone next door. Mrs. Chen had given us tea and let us use her phone. She'd known something was wrong for weeks, but hadn't wanted to intrude. I should have said something, she kept saying. I should have helped. You're helping now, Eleanor told her. The police arrested Marcus and Patricia in our driveway. The neighbors came out to watch. Marcus didn't resist. Patricia screamed about how we were lying, how she'd sue us for defamation, how her lawyer would destroy us in court. The officers put her in the back of the cruiser anyway. The investigation took 3 months. Forensic accountants confirmed Marcus had stolen $78,000 from our accounts. Audio analysts verified the recordings. Dr. Ramirez testified that the medications Marcus administered were not only unprescribed but dangerous, given Eleanor's condition. A handwriting expert confirmed Marcus had forged multiple documents, including the power of attorney papers and the house sale agreement. In February, Marcus and Patricia both pled guilty to multiple counts of elder abuse, fraud, identity theft, and criminal negligence. Marcus got 4 years in prison. Patricia got 3.5. Their lawyer tried to argue for house arrest, community service, some kind of leniency. The judge wasn't having it. You targeted your own parents, she said to Marcus. 2 people who loved you, trusted you, raised you. You exploited their vulnerability, manipulated their medical care, and attempted to rob them of their home and their dignity. This court sees no grounds for mercy. Eleanor and I sat in the gallery holding hands. When they led Marcus away in handcuffs, he looked at me one last time. I didn't look away. I wanted him to see what he'd lost. The house is ours again. All the paperwork has been corrected, the forged documents nullified. The bank returned the stolen money with interest. We've changed the locks, updated our security system, and put everything in an unbreakable trust with our real lawyer, a woman named Sarah Chen, who happens to be Mrs. Chen's daughter. No one will ever be able to take this house from us again. Eleanor recovered fully once we stopped the medications Marcus had been giving her. Her speech is clear now. She walks without a cane. Last week she planted new roses in the garden, red ones this time instead of pink. We've started having Mrs. Chen over for dinner once a week. She brings her famous dumplings. We share stories about raising children who turned out better than ours. People ask if I regret turning in my own son. The answer is no, not for a second. What Marcus did wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a moment of weakness. It was a calculated campaign to exploit his own parents for financial gain. He made his choices. Now he lives with the consequences. There's a lesson here, though it's one I wish I'd learned before nearly losing everything. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. When your instincts tell you something's wrong, trust them. When you see red flags, don't explain them away, because the person waving them is someone you love. And if you're in a situation like ours, remember this: you're not helpless. Document everything. Keep records. Take photographs. Make recordings where legal. Maintain copies in multiple locations. Stay connected with people outside your immediate family. Don't isolate. Don't sign papers without reading them, and always have your own lawyer review anything related to your assets or medical care. Elder abuse is more common than most people realize. Children who see their parents as obstacles rather than people. Caregivers who exploit instead of help. Family members who value inheritance over relationships. It happens quietly, behind closed doors, to people who never imagined their own family would hurt them. If you see something, say something. If you suspect someone you know is being exploited, abused, or manipulated, speak up. Call Adult Protective Services. Contact the police. Talk to their doctor. Do something, because the victims are often too ashamed, too confused, or too frightened to help themselves. Eleanor and I are 67 and 65. We've got good years ahead of us still. We plan to spend them in this house, the one we built our lives in, the one we almost lost. We've started a fund to help other seniors facing elder abuse. Sarah Chen helped us set it up. It's called the Second Chance Trust. We want other people to have the chance we had to fight back. Marcus writes to us, sometimes from prison. Long letters about how sorry he is, how he's changed, how he wants to make things right when he gets out. We don't write back. There's nothing left to say. You only get so many chances in life to do the right thing. He used all of his. This house is worth millions, apparently. The realtors were right about that. The location, the original features, the craftsmanship, but its value isn't in dollars. It's in the life we built here, the memories we made, the home we created. That's not something that can be bought or sold or stolen. That's something you carry with you, no matter where you are. And that, in the end, is the greatest wealth anyone can have. Not money or property or inheritance, but love, trust, dignity, the knowledge that you lived your life with integrity and stood up for yourself when it mattered most. Marcus lost all of that. Eleanor and I kept it. I'd say we got the better deal.